Hello everyone, it's the Nerdmotron movie commentary for Battle of the Five Armies, or should I say, the Battle to Stay Awake.
It really will be.
Because I think this is, like, the last one was pretty boring. This one is going to be even more boring. But we're going to have a fun, good time, so get your copies lined up, and we're playing in 3, 2, 1, play!
Playing.
Little bit of buffer in there.
Oh, mute it.
There's the big eye.
That's roar.
Let's hope the subtitles are actually working.
Oh, yeah. Roar. There we go. That should be a good team.
There's Warner Brothers logo. A Time Warner company. Oh, it's flying apart like our will to continue.
Oh, God, I love
That's quite a neat little transition into the New Line Cinema logo, though.
it. Was alright, yeah.
That's pretty good.
I wonder... I suppose they're both Time Warner companies, so they join them.
Yeah.
It's not like teamwork.
No. Nearly there. Nearly there. Only
2 hours, 40 minutes to go.
It's not quite. It's only 2.5-ish hours. It's like 2:24 or something like that. Yeah.
And 10 of them will be credits.
Yeah, probably.
Hobbit. Why did it just say The Hobbit? Are they not going to get the subtitle title?
Well, that's the way it works.
Oh, is it?
With these, they do the main title and then a bit of waffle.
Oh yeah, it ended in the cliffhanger of the bit that we were actually looking forward to. So does this mean we're going to get one good scene and then it's going to go shit?
Basically, yeah. Basically, what's going to happen here is we're going to get the end of the last movie as the start of this movie. Do you remember what happened at the end of the last movie?
Will we watch these? Any other ones? Have we watched one before this?
Oh, dear, we're going to have to do them all again.
Definitely not. I remember it as much as I want to, yeah.
So, you remember the big gold statue?
Dragon got covered in gold, flew away, because it obviously wouldn't affect him.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't having a good time, but I think, like, the implication was that he was being hurt by it. But like I said last time, I don't think a dragon would be hurt by getting smothered in gold. Because they like gold. You know?
I reckon it probably just smarted on that one little spot where he's lost a scale. And
I don't think it even would have got him there, because it all landed on his... It wasn't like he was fully coated in it, you know?
It would just be like spilling vinegar on a paper cut for him.
It would be like water off a duck's back, almost.
But if that duck had one feather missing and was particularly sensitive to water...
See, that's quite good. Spooky dragon flying through the clouds.
Oh yeah, we should be discussing the movie. So, has he been locked up for last film?
I think he got captured at the end.
Didn't
the master...
have some sex jokes?
Her and the...
Not the guy that's locked up right now.
No.
I get them all mixed up.
Yeah, because they all look very much the same, don't they? And the guy that is locked up, you could be forgiven for mistaking him for one of the handsome dwarves, you know?
I'm going to compliment a thing about this film.
Yeah, go for it.
As much as it's all a bit strange, like, I really like the actual setting of this. The kind of frozen Venice, I don't know, there's a really nice feel to well, it's all torch now, obviously. Well, just as I say
nice
that,
lake town you had.
The entire fucking place gets incinerated by a dragon.
See, this is cool stuff, though.
I was going to comment on the nice floating bits of ice, but there probably won't be any now.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, it's quite handy for when you get caught on fire. You just...
Jump in the water.
Jump out a window and you're fine.
Just swim in everyone's excrement. Oh, Cuddly Dick's getting away.
Cuddly Dick and his sidekick, Greasy Monobrow. But how good would this have been if it was at the end? Like an actual conclusion finale for the last film.
Oh yeah, that would make perfect sense.
But I mean, it means we get a strong opening for this one.
Well, maybe that's why they did it. Like, we'd rather have a strong opening than a strong ending. We'd rather have the trailer have some scenes in it that people want to see, and we'll put all of that at the beginning of the film.
Right, you're into your physics and stuff. Explain this to me. It's tying a rope around the bars, and the rope's been caught around the master, and... Alright, okay, yeah, that does make some sense, actually.
I mean, it makes
But I mean, he would...
His head would... If it bent those bars, his throat would experience the same force. So...
Yeah.
I think he would quite happily have been decapitated there.
Well, he does have a bit of a hard neck, that guy, you know what I'm saying?
Not quite.
He's an asshole.
Oh, right, okay, yes.
Yeah.
That's quite the punch.
Come on, Bard.
Did he just punch through, like...
Yeah, of course he did.
Is he superhuman?
Yeah, why not?
Is he not just a dude?
He is just a dude.
And he just punched through, like, planks and slates in, like...
Well, he's got that wild strength that comes with desperation, you know?
Oh, okay. Oh, he's got the teen mum lifting a car power.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Except in this universe, it's...
kind of like the guy in
through.
Alphas. Sorry, too soon.
Yeah, kind of like the guy in Alphas, yeah. Yeah. What a good show that was.
Too soon. We shouldn't talk about it. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Poor souls. Yeah, well, you could all stand around moping, or you could do something about it, you know?
Has he got a bit of axe embedded in his head?
Yeah, that's...
Has that been there from the start?
Yeah, it has, yeah.
And he's fine with that?
Yeah, he seems to be okay.
Does he have the orc's immunity to infection?
Well, dwarves are quite hardy. They're not completely immune to disease and everything like elves are, but they're pretty resilient.
I imagine that with the shit he's been through, the risk of knocking your head and ramming it further into your brain is pretty high.
It's probably just, like, lodged in his skull and, like, the bone has kind of grown around it. And
maybe. Or maybe it's part of him now so he can use it as a head.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you probably don't remember in the last movie, there was a big bow thing on top of a tower.
I do remember, yes.
And it was sort of like, ooh, we're going to use this to defeat
but
the
don't
dragon.
They have, like, one arrow or, like, 2 arrows or some shit?
Well, he's trying to use, like, normal arrows just now. But, like, the big thing on the tower uses, like ballista arrows kind of thing. You're never going to take down a dragon like that, mate. Even if you do get it in his little...
eyes.
In his little heart hole. Aim for the heart hole!
I've just heard, yeah. It's, a lot of these, it goes from between good special effects to, like, obvious, like, comp shots.
Yeah.
And it's really janky.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Cuddly Dick when he's younger. He looks like he's in the Fry and Laurie show there.
Yeah. So cast-wise, you know how we like to have a little chat about the cast?
Or do we have new people to
We
know about
have
now?
one new character.
Oh, and before you tell me, I need to guess whether you're going to ask me if they were in Smallville or The Bill.
Well, I could ask both.
Are they British or American?
It's going to be a fairly obvious answer to both, but yeah.
Who is it then?
So in this one, we are introduced to Billy Connolly as Dane.
He's not in either of those things.
No, he's well. Just told your horses, don't.
I bet he's been mentioned in The Bill.
Probably, yeah. So you'll know Billy Connolly from being funny or something.
Yes, I'm familiar with his work.
He was Billy Bones in Muppets Treasure Island.
Oh yeah.
Which is the second best Muppets movie.
Muppet Christmas Carol being the
Christmas
best.
Carol being the best.
Best Christmas Carol storytelling.
Yeah, it's just bloody good. It's really,
up there
really
with
good.
Paddington.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you see they're making a Paddington 3.
Of course they're making a Paddington 3.
Oh my. Yeah, but no, they've actually properly announced it. Paddington in Peru.
Oh my god.
Yes.
He's going back home.
He's going back to Peru, baby.
Is what's her name still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, because she comes to visit.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't remember whether she died at the end or something. That would have just been horrifying. Although she's clearly going to die at the end of the third one. So they
Oh no, it's gonna absolutely destroy me.
It's because they have such like strong, like emotional, family-friendly messaging in it that they're just such nice films. Like
I am not ashamed to admit when what's her name? Aunt something or other.
Ants something.
No, his auntie.
Oh yeah, I couldn't remember either.
I can't remember her name, but like when she shows up at the end,
but that's not right.
When she shows up at the end of the last one, and
brings a tear to your eye.
I am not ashamed to admit I wept openly and for a long time. Ooh, excuse me.
Would you like a tissue?
No, I'm okay.
I don't know why I said it that way.
He was also in an episode of Third Rock from the Sun, Billy Connolly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Incoming message from the big giant head.
I used to watch that a lot, but I can't really remember much about it, other than what's his face was in it.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, and the other guy who Lord Farquaad, man.
And Ivana Humpalot.
What?
Ivana Humpalot.
What? That's inappropriate.
No, it's Ivana. Ivana Humpalot. Do you know how we keep warm in Russia?
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
Austin Powers 2 reference for anybody not following that.
Yeah. Just one more thing, if I may.
Yes.
He was also in an episode of Columbo.
Really?
See what I did there?
I did, yes.
See what I did there?
I did, yeah. Just one more thing.
Just one more thing.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh, you were so proud of
that. He was in The Man Who Sued God.
I feel like I saw that.
I have definitely never seen it.
I don't remember it. I definitely saw an advert for it. Actually, you know what it was? It will have been a trailer at the beginning of a VHS tape that I would have watched a few times and seen the trailer. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing that I'm aware of. The Man Who Sued God.
Yes. Garfield 2?
I haven't seen Garfield 1.
Neither have I.
Is that the one with Bill Murray as Garfield?
Oh, I think Dragon's dying.
Oh yeah, we're totally not paying attention. It got shot.
Yeah, we just totally...
We missed the bit we were looking for. Were his eyes glowing from, like, internal fires?
Yeah.
Or just
and now his internal fires has gone out. Tell you, they'll have some...
Oh, and he's going to land on top of Cuddly Dick. Yes.
Dead comeuppance. God, imagine a dead dragon landing on you.
I sense a great disturbance in the Force.
But I tell you what, they'll have some good eating off that dragon for some time, I would imagine.
It's pre-cooked.
Yeah.
It'll just land on its own barbecue.
Yeah. Well, it'll
seasoned with Cuddly Dick.
It'll be... Oh dear.
For anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stephen Fry, he played a character called Cuddly Dick.
Oh yeah,
I was telling you about it last time.
You told me about it before. I was probably only half listening.
Yes, almost so.
Look at him brooding! He's going to go mad, I think. Do you think he's going to go mad?
Is he not already a bit mad?
Well, he's sort of gruff and determined. There you go. Are you happy now? Battle of Five
Armies. Yeah, we've had the pre-credits.
Have we paid attention to whether the subtitles are working?
Yeah, they are. We've had like sound effects, and there's not been that many words, but when the words have come up, they have been saying...
Oh, there we go. Oh, breathing raggedly.
Poor old Mr. Gandalf.
God, he's suffering almost as much as Ian McKellen did for these bloody movies.
Excuse me, Mr. Gandalfman, please ignore the fact that you're in a floating green space. Just pretend you can see what we described to you.
Billy Connolly also in an episode of House MD.
Is he?
He is.
I feel like I would have seen it, but I don't remember.
I think I've seen all of that.
I think I have, but I think I've deleted a lot of it from my mind because it got a bit of shit in the end, didn't it?
It kind of did. Honestly, I don't know how well that show really holds up going back to it.
I think the first couple of seasons were great. It's just once they started trying to tell you more about House, the whole point is that it was a mystery.
Yeah,
it's like all these things, you know, you don't need to know the backstory. As soon as you find out about his leg and about how actually he's just a fucking crazy drug addict, it's not quite as fun.
Yeah. Well, it was the same with Sherlock as well.
He had a whole series hallucinating Cuddy, didn't he?
Yeah, well, see, I kind of like that aspect of it. When his mental faculties were being called into question. And the season when he's in, the institution, that's pretty good, because it's different. But after that, it kind of just goes a bit bleh.
I just don't remember.
They start just doing kind of like soap opera gimmicks, like a building falls on somebody at some point, and House is like there trying to do his doctor thing.
Well, it's like 24, you got to ramp it up every season. So if you do nuclear war in your first one, you're fucked.
Well, they were doing nuclear war literally every season. Every season it was somebody stolen a nuclear weapon and the president's... Damn it! The president's a cyborg or something. I don't know.
Oh, the president was just always evil. Well, no, not always evil, actually. He became always evil. He used to be a good dude.
Well, that's politics for you, isn't it?
I miss President Palmer. Was it Palmer?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Anyway, we're not paying attention to the creepy...
It's a love story. We're not paying attention to the important, very important love story. He's giving away his precious rock.
It's Evangeline Lilly and one corner of the love triangle there.
Yeah. Oh, and there's the other corner.
And there's the other corner.
Just lingering somewhere out of shot.
Looking like a numpty. Oh, he gave me his blue stone, and I don't know what that means, but he's sailing away now.
His mother gave him that stone before she died in battle or something. And apparently the inscription on it is like, you'll always find your way home or something like that.
Give me a dry blanket. I want a dry blanket.
This isn't lunatic. Oh, it's Lickspittle, I forgot.
Yeah. I mean, he's aptly named. Fair play to them. They make him look absolutely repulsive.
Have you ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I have.
Does he not look like one of the McPoyles?
Absolutely. Ooh. That's a little bit.
I'm going to call him Lickspittle McPoyle.
McPoyle?
Yeah.
Well, he just got his ass kicked, so... Yeah.
He's a slimy little piece of sputum.
Yeah. I think he disguises himself as a woman in this, which is...
a challenge.
It's not on, really, is it, doing that? I mean, I know he's trying to escape a horrible situation, but he is a horrible situation himself, you know?
Hypothetically, and no disrespect meant to fictional species, could he describe himself as a slightly hairier species? As a woman?
I reckon if he's...
I wonder if they have, like, hairy dwarf women he could disguise himself as.
Well,
have you seen a dwarf woman? Do they have beards?
Well, that's a good question, because according to Gimli, in, I think, the Two Towers, he has a little chat with Eowyn.
Yeah.
And is like... Or it gets
He's
mentioned.
Like, my wife's got a massive beard.
Gimli's like, he's telling her about, like, dwarf culture. And it was like, most people don't recognise dwarf women because they look very similar, and then she's like, because of the beards, and I was like, ha 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 ha. So it's sort of been hint, and I think they hint at in one of these movies that dwarf women have beards as well, but we've never actually seen a dwarf woman in any of these films.
That's really poor representation.
Well, they're probably
Did we get any dwarf women in the Rings of Power?
I don't know, probably.
Wait, wasn't there a bearded woman on the front of one of the posters?
What, for the Rings of Power?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have absolutely
it was a parody meme. But it might have been.
Billy Connolly, also King Fergus in Brave.
Yes.
Which is a film that exists.
Oh, Brave's the Pixar one.
Yeah. That's all Scottish.
It's not great though,
It's
is it?
very Scottish.
It feels a bit appropriaty.
A little bit. A little bit.
Don't like
I don't know. I think it's fairly respectful of the cultures it's representing, you know. It's fine. And, of course, the big question is, was Billy Connolly in the bill?
No.
Nope, he was not. Was he in Smallville?
No.
Nope.
I have to think about it.
Definitely wasn't. Wasn't in Red Dwarf or Casualty.
No, dear.
Or anything like that. Or Midsummer Murders, even.
What? Not even in Midsummer Murders?
Not even in Midsummer Murders. He was probably too busy cutting about Australia on a motorbike, you know, like he does.
Wasn't it more of a sort of trike thing?
Well, potato.
Right,
you know.
yeah.
Well, this place has seen better days.
Yeah, we've totally not watching this at all, but chatting about, what were they saying? They're moaning about how they've all been fighting loads and they want to stop fighting now. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, the townsfolk are fine. I mean, the town's been burnt down, but, they're fine.
Where are they now?
They're,
just underground.
They're underground, yeah. Thorin... I think this is a bit where Thorin kind of goes mad. He gets a bit of the old gold madness.
I like how they've all walked into a nice spotlight so that we can see them underground.
Yeah. So I think we missed it earlier, but when the guy killed Smaug, he used his child to... because the big bow was broken. So he,
bent it over his back?
No, he, leans the big arrow on his child's shoulder.
Did the arrow clip through the child's cheek on the way past, in a comical way?
No. Everybody was fine.
Okay.
Everybody just really came away from that fine. Apart from everybody who died, obviously.
Okay, now it looks a lot less than it was before, because it was a mountain before.
$62 billion US.
But is that before or after they melt loads of it and turn it into a giant statue?
I'm probably going to shave off a few... Well, actually, no, because that's all still there. It's just...
Not in coin form.
No, they'd have to... They've made a big gold floor out of it, So they would have to break that up somehow.
A lot of gold footprints. You could get a lot of the little droplets. They've probably hardened by now.
Yeah. It's gold!
My sister sons. What's the sister son?
Cousin. They're all cousins.
Are they?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think some of them are brothers.
That's
maybe.
A lot of gold.
It is a lot of gold. It's $62 billion US worth.
It's more than that. I refuse to accept that it's...
Take it up with Forbes.
I will. Forbes have plenty of issues that they can be dealing with other than trying to calculate the worth of a dragon. It feels like there's 60 billion in that one mound on the right there alone. Am I just...
I think you're overestimating
the value of gold. I mean, probably. But, you can have thousands of pounds in your hand worth of gold, right?
I don't know.
It's going to be hundreds and hundreds of billions.
$100 billion.
What are you talking about? This is Middle Earth. That kind of money doesn't even exist.
Yeah. We can't even count that high.
Oh, he's doing Tim faces again.
He is. Oh, it's a flashback.
Don't be stealing crystals and things, you colonizer. You see what I did there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Black Panther.
Yeah.
Well
Still haven't
done.
seen the second one.
Neither have I. See, they're playing this. This is just directly from the last movie because everybody's forgotten the last movie.
Yeah, how long apart were these released?
A year, I think.
Jesus, a week's bad enough.
Yeah, but can you imagine watching the last movie and it not having an ending and then having to wait an entire year?
Yeah. Waiting a week for the ending, which we talked over and didn't actually
It's
watch.
a big pig.
We actually ignored the bit we were looking forward to. Let's get back to who's in it. Is it just Billy Connolly?
It's just Billy Connolly, that's it. The cast list is even very boring.
That's great.
That's a very cool mountain, though.
That was a very poor Billy Connolly. He's looking a little bit cleaner. Has he had a bit of a wash?
Well, he fell in the lake earlier, I think.
It was in between then. He was looking pretty down.
He probably wants to change his clothes, though, because they'll be stinking. He's been running around.
Yeah, but like you said, he had a wash in some ice cold water.
Yeah, but he was wearing those clothes. So that's not good.
But you didn't see the bit just before this where he was sitting huddled naked round a fire, holding his clothes over and drying them out.
Did that actually happen?
Yeah. It was just in the background. You could see him, the they had like really strategically placed like helmets and spears and stuff to hide all the important bits.
I see. The Austin Powers did they?
Oh yeah. There's one moment where a guy had a big gourd carrying along. And then another guy with a much smaller gourd in the opposite direction, and it worked fine.
Yeah. Somebody held up a big sausage on a fork.
Yep. And then a little miniature dragon was like burning the end of the sausage. It's like a baby dragon that one of them was training.
Right.
How's your infected arm, mate?
It is fine, for I do not get infected. I upgraded
Look
it
at these
because the last one fell out.
Look at these two completely different orcs just having a chat at each other.
They look so shit. Like, I mean, yes, it's good special effects, but men in suits would feel like they're there. Hire an amputee and fit a fucking awesome fake blade to it. It would be amazing.
Yeah, they could have done that.
You need to get an amputee bodybuilder. Like, by all means, soup him up with a bit of CG if you want. You know, you can do all that sort of stuff, like change the face shape and stuff. You could almost avatar.
I mean, they kind of did that because
but
he was
just
actually
looks like shit.
There was an actual person there.
It looks mocap.
It
doesn't look like real people.
The guy who played the Deathstroke in Arrow and all that.
Manu Bennett.
That's the one.
She's doing her Kate from Lost look.
She's always doing her Kate from Lost look.
Oh yeah, that's it, isn't it? She's Kate from Lost.
She's literally Kate from Lost.
Until they give her a pixie doing.
What is his face? Just looks so wrong. Like you can see like the bottom of his jowls, but like his cheekbones and everything are all smoothed out, and it's just.
I see what you mean.
It just looks weird.
Are you sure? I mean, I don't know. Does he really look that different?
He looks very different.
Does he?
To how he looks in the Lord of the Rings movies, he looks very different.
No, I noticed that because he looks older. But how much have they actually de-aged him in this?
Oh right.
Like how much have they fucked with his face?
Not
or
that
is it just
much.
that time has fucked his face?
As it does to
us all. As it does
all.
to us all, yeah. Except for my cousin, he's aging backwards.
Is he called Ben?
No, that was an obscure reference to Nick Frost.
Alright.
And they're like, what are we going to do? I don't know, we can't do anything. We tell the government, they'll take him away.
And we're back with Gandalf, still hanging around in his cage.
I can't see anything but green. It's impossible to act.
And there's wizard number 2.
Seventh Doctor.
Yep. Stoned out his gourd.
Best eyebrows in the film, actually. I take it back from that other guy. His Radagast's eyebrows are the best.
What other guy?
One of the dwarfs has amazing eyebrows.
Oh, well, yeah, they've all got fairly
They're like two
eyebrows.
beards above his eyes, but Radagast has like realistic looking, like crazy eyebrows.
Yeah. You say realistic looking.
Who's this?
It's Galadriel.
Put some shoes on for Christ's sake.
Doesn't need to. She's an elf.
Has she got? Oh no, they're super light, aren't they? So you can step on a nail and not worry about it.
Yeah, like in Fellowship of the Ring, Legolas is like just walking along the top of a snowdrift while everybody's digging their way through.
He was also jumping on dwarf heads a minute ago.
Oh well, you want to talk about Legolas jumping on things? Just you wait. There is
he's not going to do the whole thing like the Flash where he jumps on floating bits of shit, is he?
Just you wait and see.
He's going to do that thing where, like the Flash, where he jumps on floating bits of shit, doesn't he?
I can neither confirm nor deny. You're just going to have to watch the movie.
I will take that as a yes. He does that stupid Flash thing where he jumps on floating pieces of shit.
Yeah, he does. It's quite a... You've probably seen the clips of it.
I probably have.
Yeah, because it's just...
Oh, there's ghosts.
Fun fact, that's
all in front of a green
really
screen.
light, floaty, man-shaped thing that Galadriel's just holding like it's nothing.
Is it him on strings?
No, it's actually a fake Gandalf that they built.
I mean, it does look very rigid. Oh yeah, see the way it went down there?
Yeah, it's just like a Gandalf mannequin. They called it Michael Gambon because he was the wizard in the other movies.
Yeah, I got you.
See? Yeah,
Are
very
they
clever.
implying that Michael Gambon is a very wooden actor?
He's a bit wooden, actually, when you think about it. He's not... I don't rate him all that highly as an actor.
I think you're mistaking creaky with wooden.
Speaking of creaky...
I'm the oldest man in the world. I'm also in front of a green screen.
Do you know this was his last movie appearance?
Is he doing any of those motions?
Absolutely not. He's like 95 years old at this point.
So he's just for the close-ups.
He's just...
in the green screen,
yeah.
And this is just a stunt man in a suit. It looks like him, and they just CG'd his face on.
I mean, basically.
Probably.
They've just done a bit of face replacement on a stunt double.
He probably would have loved that. I hope he got to see it. Who are these teleporting ghost knight things?
Very good question. Some sort of evil beings.
You really need... And get him a flannel. Look at the state of him.
Use your healing magic, Galadriel. Oh, she did. There we go. A healing kiss. So there's a lot of discussion around whether or not these two are doing it.
Oh, Gandalf fucks.
See, I don't think so. I think he's too committed to the...
Are you kidding me?
I think he's too committed to the job.
Gandalf has been around for so long. He has done shit with... He's like Captain Jack Harkness.
That's a very inapt comparison.
He's like a really long-lived being who has so much knowledge about everything. He can manipulate a hobbit with one sentence. Of course he fucks. He can
No. He's
I'm being ridiculous.
You're being very ridiculous. Gandalf doesn't fuck. He's too committed to the cause.
No,
you know?
Gandalf is the ultimate celibate
Saruman.
monk man.
Saruman, on the other hand,
Saruman doesn't fuck. He's a bit rapey. That's the impression I get from Saruman. He's the one that he'll impose his shaft upon others.
No, Jesus. Fucking hell.
Well, look at him swinging his staff. I meant to say staff. That was the problem.
I regret going down this road now. Why did I open the door to this? Oh, there's an explosion. Oh, it's the big spooky eye.
Which looks better than any other films, and it's the only bit that I like more than this. God, Agent Smith's looking old as well. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, see, what they've done here is his representation here is a lot more accurate to how it is in the book. But I like the way they've taken his form, and it's like the pupil of the eye, the same as it.
Good.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it.
Oh, she's turned into the lady from The Ring.
And I will also say that considering after this film, as I understand, Sauron gets less powerful until the Lord of the Rings.
A little bit.
I like the idea maybe that's his true form, and then all he could do is a footprint doesn't look like a boot.
Yeah.
In the third, when you just see with the iris, maybe it's not. Maybe it is still that.
I think
it's warped and we can't see it.
In the book continuity, he does have.
What is this shit? It's like it's like a music video or something.
It really is. It's like an Evanescence.
I was going to say Lemon Jelly. There's a Lemon Jelly music video that looks just like that.
Like you could easily put like an Evanescence track over most of all of that action scene and that bit.
Oh my God.
It would totally fit.
And my hat is still on. No, where did my hat come from? Where did I get my hat? I was in a cage.
A wizard is never without his hat.
And where's my pipe?
Well,
I need some pipe weed.
Don't we all? But yeah, in the book continuity, at this point, Sauron does have a physical body.
Okay.
He just hasn't regained all of his magic powers
yet. Projecting his image through an eyeball of fire.
Yeah, but I think in this, he's still in a sort of spirit form, which is why in the Lord of the Rings movies, he's the tower with the big eye on it.
What's Agent Smith's name in this?
Elrond.
Yeah. I thought that was a place.
No, you're thinking of Rivendell, where Elrond lives.
Silly me.
Indeed.
CGI trees. CGI rabbits and people.
CGI everything.
But I like the funky house.
Yeah.
Oh no, real sets now. With the fake house in the background. That hat's real.
Yep.
That's a real fake beard.
Yep.
Those aren't real. I feel like George Lucas. This is real. This is real. This is not real. This is all fake. This is all fake. This is shit. I was doing so well. George is the key to all this.
Yeah. I told you this would be the most boring movie.
I have nothing to say about it.
It's just
happening in the background.
It's literally just people standing around talking about fucking nothing.
Have they not already...
And there was a lot of that in the last movie as well.
Just a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Have they not already finished their mission in that they were going to go and claim the gold and they thought they got the gold?
They have, but...
So it's over, right?
Basically, yeah, but this guy's like going a bit insane because he's like, oh, we've retaken the mountain and we should... I don't know, be evil now or something. I don't really get it. But it all kind of ramps up. Like, the elves come a bit later and they're like, hey, we want this mountain instead, actually, please. And he's like, nah, fuck off. Apparently, like, there's some treasure there that's... I think it's not the Arkenstone, or maybe it is the Arkenstone that the elves are after.
He's already got it. He picked it up earlier, didn't he?
Well, Bilbo has it, but nobody knows that Bilbo has it.
Why is he not telling them?
Because he's suspicious of them.
Oh.
Because if he gives it to Thorin, then...
Thorin will use it for evil.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, the dwarves are dicks. He should have just...
Hey, Balin's alright. He's cool. He's a good guy.
Is he?
Yeah. Sort of. I mean, he's a bit like... Oh, he's my king, and I will never betray my king, and I will always follow my king into the place where the king goes, even if my king is evil.
And loopy.
But he's just a kindly old dwarf, you know? And him and Bilbo are pals.
That stone crowns.
And he's got...
Is it so that he can be the rightful king to have the...
Yeah, something like that. But then, like I say, the elves like have a claim over it as well, because like Lee Pace shows up on his elk later.
No, laddie, is he Scottish?
Yeah.
I only got that from him saying
yeah,
laddie.
The dwarves have all got like Scottish, Irish, North Englandish accents.
Right. Just non-Sassenach-y.
What?
Sassenach? That's what the Scots would call the non-Celtics, I think.
Oh.
The English.
The filthy English.
The English are fucking filthy.
Yeah.
I just sound English. I've lived here 30 years.
Right. Because you love Middle-earth and all things Tolkien...
as you know, I do.
I want to quiz you on your favourite things.
Okay.
Okay?
The ends. The endings.
Really? Well, I mean, you've only seen 2 of them so far, and they've been pretty pish.
Pipeweed?
How does the first one end? Again, I can't remember. I think they're just like, oh, we're at a mountain now. There's...
Yeah. Well, that was the fucking problem with Lord of the Rings as well, but at least that was like that in the books. Anyway, carry on. Let's hear my quiz.
So, who is your favourite dwarf?
I don't have one. Oh, no, actually, that's not true. What's the one played by the Irish dude?
That's Boffer? Played by James Nesbitt.
He just seems like he's there having a laugh. He feels like he's not actually involved, so I'll go with him.
I have to make a slight correction here, actually. Throughout these films, I think I've been saying that there's 12 dwarves and there's actually 13.
Okay.
There's one more than we thought there was.
Another one. Judas.
Yeah, maybe.
Or what's the 13th apostle in Dogma called?
I can't remember.
Chris Rock.
So yeah, did you say who your favourite dwarf is?
Yes, James Nesbitt.
James Nesbitt,
but only because he's the only actor of them I recognise and I like his appearances. Although we have been listening to it on mute, so maybe someone that has a funnier voice that I've missed.
So for me, in these movies, in the Hobbit movies, it's Balin, as I say.
The old grey head.
The old grey head. I like that he's got a big beard, but he doesn't have a moustache.
It's because his nose is a moustache.
He does have a bit of a...
His nose is essentially a moustache.
Yeah, there's something a bit funny there with these gold, greedy little people with the large facial features. something a little bit...
It's a little bit Enid Blyton.
It's a little bit anti-Semitic-y.
Are you familiar with the Enid Blyton thing?
Do I want to be?
Turns out I think the whole thing of the goblins was very anti-Semitic.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, goblins, yeah.
But, like, specifically within that.
Yeah, goblins have always been kind of an anti-Semitic trope.
Hence their huge appearance in Harry Potter as the Gringotts.
Yes.
Let us move on again.
Anyway,
so my favourite one is James Nesbitt.
Yes.
Yours was
I'm going with Balin in these movies. However, in overall, I think Gimli has to take it.
But that's because it's Thingy Rhys Jones. Davis.
Yeah.
What's his name?
John Rhys Davies, I think that's his name.
Either way, great dude. Great in Sliders. Great in everything.
Great in Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, just good dude. Good dude.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He might be an asshole.
He might be an asshole.
But he's
a good actor. Good actor.
He does a good Gimli.
He does a good
I'll give him that.
On my axe.
Yeah, that was the cheesiest bit, but...
I don't know. No, definitely not. You're forgetting about... Well, I say forgetting, you've never probably seen it, but you're forgetting about the entire extended ending of Return of the King, which is just cheese galore, because it's mostly just...
Oh, it's a horse in daylight, it looks real.
Sort
that's
of.
not real.
That's
definitely
not,
Compton. That was so bad. That was just Ian McKellen on a box doing this.
Yeah.
Jumping up and down. Jesus.
Speaking of which, who is your favourite wizard?
Oh, well, that's a tricky one, but Radagast.
Yeah, Radagast is cool. Overall, probably Gandalf.
No.
Because he's just...
Because Gandalf, he fucked it up for everyone by starting all this. Radagast is hiding out in the woods, doing his own thing.
Well, that's a fair point, actually.
Radagast isn't hurting anyone. And
well, actually, no, I
don't
agree with that, because there is an argument made that, like, Gandalf caused all of this destruction by sending them off on the quest in the first place. Indeed. But he did actually have a good reason for doing it, which was to...
feed the dwarves.
It was to get rid of Smaug. That was ultimately his goal, because he didn't want Smaug, the big deadly dragon, to be recruited by Sauron.
Oh, okay, fair play.
So yeah, he did have a good reason, but he could have been a bit more upfront about it. You know, he could have just gone to Bilbo and said, "Hey, look, there's this big evil dragon."
Whoa, that's a big thing.
Yeah, that's Lee Pace and his elk.
That's Malfoy, remember?
No, it's Lee Pace.
No, he's a Malfoy. Look at his hair.
Yeah, they all look like that. Speaking of dragons, who is your favourite dragon?
Out of Smaug.
Out of Tolkien lore.
I mean, I only know of Smaug.
Mine is Sean Connery from Dragonheart.
Well, I was going to go along those lines. And then you said in Lord of the Rings lore, and I wasn't familiar with Dragonheart taking place within Lord of the Rings
lore. Are you
lore.
telling me that Dragonheart is not
my favourite dragon
Lord of the Rings
is the one from
cycle?
Shrek. How's that? The one that marries Donkey in Shrek.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, she's a good dragon, I think. Yeah. Oh, that's the thing the elves are after, I think.
Well, the necklace.
Yeah.
No, I think he just wants shit. He just...
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's gone treasure mad, so he just wants to keep all of it, and he could just give that one thing to the elves, and they would fuck off and leave him alone.
Right.
But no, he's like, and he's scattered all those diamonds everywhere. Somebody's going to stand on one of those and get some micro cuts and bleed out. And
I trod on a staple the other day. That was bad enough.
Oof. Ouch. You want to get some hobbit feet.
I know. Well, I was trying to, by not wearing shoes, but then I forgot that there were staples everywhere, and I trod on one.
See, I don't think you can, like, develop hobbit feet.
Oh, you can. You can. Well, not so much hobbit feet, but you can definitely develop the toughness of your soul.
Well, you can blacken and callous your souls, but they're never going to be...
Hobbity.
They're never going to be fully hobbit feet, you know?
Without full leg prosthetics, or full lower leg prosthetics.
Yeah. Well, you could go
Who's this dwarf with the spirally beard?
I don't fucking know. I'm amazed that I remembered James Nesbitt was.
Where do these bricks come from? Do they just teleport in?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, but fast travel. You know,
that is an interesting question. Do they have any form of fast travel or teleportation in this universe?
No. They've got long-range communications of a sort.
So can Radagast and Gandalf do, like, private message each other?
Not really. There's the...
Slip into each other's DMs.
What are they called again? The Palantir, the Seeing Stones.
Oh, okay.
They're actually quite a cool bit of lore. Like, you're into, like, your magic if it's, like, sort of logical and explained.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Palantir, it's not like just this magic rock can speak to this other magic rock. Like, you put your hand on it and somebody else puts their hand on the other thing and you can speak to each other like it's a mobile phone. No, they actually have to be, like, angled towards each other properly and everything.
Okay. So it's like focusing psychic energies or some bullshit.
Yeah, it's channeling magic of some sort.
Like subspace communications.
I always just find that fascinating how some magic in this universe is really vague and really not explained at all.
Woolly.
And there's little bits like that are. And I like that because you don't want to be too, you know me, I don't need a story to be like heavy on explaining how everything works. As long as there's just a little bit kind of sprinkled in here and there. It's fine.
Fair play.
Who's your favourite orc?
Well, I mean, I have no idea what they're called. I mean, just for resilience alone, I'll go for the one who doesn't get an infected elbow.
Okay.
But I'm sure there will have been side character orcs that I've seen in the background that I found more entertaining.
I quite like the one in the Two Towers that wants to eat Merry and Pippin.
That's a good orc.
Yeah. And I quite like Lurtz, I think his name is. He's the one.
I mean, I genuinely thought you just meant these three, but you keep expanding the parameters.
I'm being a bit silly.
I know.
Yeah, I like him. He's the one that kills Boromir. And he's also the one who's like, meat's back on the table, boys! Which is quite a good bit.
That's in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I bet it's a man in a suit, so it doesn't look quite so shitty. Okay, yes, we're definitely going with that. Actually, yeah, the best orc is any of the ones that aren't CGI.
Yeah, I would say so.
I reckon it's the one that passes in front of the camera when they do a panning shot of their tool-up sequence in one of the first three. That's my one. Just the random one that just appears and looks like a decent orc. And it's like in front of the screen at one point.
Yeah.
You know the one I mean as well.
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah. Who is your favourite heir of Isildur?
Next question.
No, you have to answer these. It's the law.
Do I get multiple choice? How many heirs of Isildur are there?
Isildur.
Isildur.
Isildur. Yeah.
My favourite Isildur is the one that keeps dragons in. I don't know. I have no jokes.
Well,
I don't know what it is.
For me, it's Aragorn.
What is an heir of Isildur?
Because he's got the blood of Numenor in him, doesn't he? And that's pretty cool, isn't it?
What's Numenor?
The Numenor were the men who helped fight Morgoth in the First Age.
Who's Morgoth?
He's the big evil. Sauron is like Morgoth's lieutenant.
What?
And Morgoth
You say it lieutenant? This is British. It's lieutenant.
Oh, well,
please.
Whatever. His second in command
is number one.
And Morgoth gets defeated at the end of the First Age, or close to the end of the First Age. And then Sauron kind of takes up the mantle of the Dark Lord.
Comically accurate, considering his association with volcanic activity.
Yeah. Funny that.
Quite the mantle fetish.
Indeed.
Okay, so again, what's an heir of Isildur?
Isildur was the king of the Numenor.
Oh, okay.
One of the kings of the Numenor.
You're saying H-E-I-R, heir. I thought you were just meaning like some sort of airy fairy.
Oh, right. No,
I genuinely had no idea what you were talking about. So
well, in many ways.
Who is my favourite heir to a person I don't know's throne?
Yeah.
Who are the options?
I think it's literally just Aragorn.
Then why ask the question?
Because it's funny to torment you with lore because you hate it.
I hate Lord of the Rings lore.
Yes!
We're doing TNG soon.
Okay, last one. Last little question for you.
I'm excited.
Who is your favourite elf?
Which ones are the elves again?
They're the
ones with the pointy ears.
The pointy ears and, a lot of folk have got pointy ears, but the long hair and the... Orlando Bloom, Evangeline Lilly, Lee Pace.
They're all really unlikable.
Yes, they are. They really are.
I'm trying to think of anything that any of them have done. I'll tell you what, I'll give it to Evangeline Lilly for the sex joke.
Really? You're going that route, are you?
I'm going to go... She made me laugh the most.
You mean the one in the last one where she's like...
Yeah.
Where he's like, I could have anything down my pants, and she's like, or nothing. That is quite a good joke, to be fair.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it to her.
Quite a witty riposte.
Indeed. I'm going to give it to her purely because she's the only one that's even mildly entertained me.
Okay. Well, for me, I like Celebrimbor.
You like who?
Celebrimbor.
Oh, that one.
You will.
Silly me for not thinking of Mr. Brimbor.
You will know all about this, of course. I'm sorry to bore you with reiterating things that you already know, but Celebrimbor was the one who sneakily made the 3 Rings of Power.
Oh, in the Rings of Power.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I think he does. I've not seen that show, but
I've not seen it either.
I believe at least one of the 3 rings.
But like you say, that's a really famous bit of lore that I couldn't not know.
Exactly.
So,
and do you know what the 3 Rings of Power are?
I do, yeah.
Go on then.
I wouldn't. I'll let you do the text.
Do you want me to say it and then you'll just confirm whether you knew that? Okay.
I'll tell you that I knew that's what they are.
So you've got.
I mean, I could guess. You've got Earth, Wind, Water, Heart, and Fire.
You're on the right lines actually, but there's only 3 of them. Remember?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No, that's a band.
Do you remember? Love, Sex, and Robots?
That's Earth, Wind and Fire, isn't it?
No, I think it's a different artist. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But,
so, anyway, do you want me to tell you?
I'm just quizzing you to see if you know. So you
do you want me to refresh? Do you want me to refresh your memory?
Yeah,
okay, so we've got Nenya.
Nenya, business?
Oh, yes, mate. Oh, ring-a-ding-ding. We've finally got some comedy going. Oh, God. So Nenya, known as the White Ring, the Ring of Adamant.
Ring of Adamant?
Yes.
You say?
The Ring of Water.
I got one of them.
Well...
I got one.
And that's the ring that Galadriel has. You saw her using it earlier on.
She's got a watery ring.
Don't do that. That's rude and awful.
Everyone's got a ring.
I'm shaking my head.
You are very, very forcefully shaking your head. I'm totally bringing the tone down of these.
You really are.
I'm just being driven slightly insane. I don't know why I keep coming out with such awfulness.
It just... We're getting a real insight into the workings of your mind, I think.
I'm just being a bit filthy when I'm watching these films. I don't know what it is.
I think it's just because they're really boring.
I think I just need to
we're
spice it up. We're
scrambling to find any kind of enjoyment whatsoever.
It's not only that. I feel like there's so little to say about them that I can't even be funny or clever or quick. I just have to say something dirty because that's the funniest thing that can possibly come out of this. I think it's almost at that level where like, poop jokes.
I mean, normally I would...
I mean...
Listen,
I'm literally joking about anuses.
I am fine with poop jokes.
Well,
okay,
I was just talking about a watery ring. It's like a diarrhea joke.
Okay. So we've also got continuing our ring chat.
Yes.
Why have I done this to myself?
You bring it on yourself. You're doing Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. How is that not the gayest title ever? Or like the most filthy poo fetishist title ever.
I don't like that you've conflated those two things necessarily. But anyway.
Well, no, we're just talking about rings. I'm just thinking of...
Can you stop saying wet ring, please?
I didn't say wet ring that time.
Yeah, right. Well, you've embedded it into my psyche now. That's... Oh my god, right. Vilya.
Here comes Gandalf.
I don't care.
Vilya. So who's
Vilya is the ring of sapphire, the blue ring, the ring of air. That's AIR, not HEIR.
Yeah, I said air and water. I've got two.
You did. And that's the ring kept by Elrond.
In Rivendell.
Well done.
I'm getting it.
Yes.
I'm getting the
Excellent.
lore.
Good Lord. Right, and...
Are you proud of me?
No, I can't say that I am, actually.
No, I know you're not.
I mean...
Slightly ashamed to have allowed me to record this
Oh,
with you
God. I think we might have to start this again, to be honest.
Maybe.
And lastly, we've got Narya. Narya Business.
No, I've done that one.
Yeah, but no. Okay.
Gotcha.
Your jokes don't count. Jokes. Your jokes don't count anymore. Anyway, oh God. Right, I'm just going to say it. This one is The Ring of Fire. Over to you.
Johnny Cash, good song.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you've drawn a line under the filth. Thank you. Kept by Gandalf.
Did he eat a lot of chilies?
Yeah, probably. Why not? Why not?
I'm sorry.
Why not?
You made me do that one.
I didn't. Well, to be fair, I have made you watch these movies. You didn't have to do this.
I know.
I have literally forced you into doing this.
Is Gandalf actually on set there?
Or is that just there actually a set there?
That is the
question. A better question.
It's hard to. I bet that's definitely not a set. That tent might be.
Isn't it interesting how similar Saruman and Count Dooku are? I mean, beyond...
They're played by the same actor.
Beyond that, they're...
In what ways are they similar? Have they got?
Well, they sort of start off with good intentions. They're both wizards, for a start. They start off with like good intentions and want to help the world.
They both like wielding
but then they get corrupt.
Specialised handheld things.
They get seduced by a higher power that's a bit evil and get a bit corrupted by that.
Are you saying that both Sauron and Palpatine are a bit evil?
Just a little bit evil.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
I mean, that feels like an understatement, but we'll go with it.
Who's more evil, would you say?
Palpatine.
No, I mean, who's more evil than those two?
Pretty much any real-life deity.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Wider impact.
Yeah.
We are just talking fictional characters, right?
I don't know anymore. Bats! Lots of bats! They're very, very slowly drawing the 5 armies together. Here's the thing.
I don't know why that orc makes me think that it's the guy who plays Gollum. What's the...
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, he has an Andy Serkis look about him, and I don't know if that's cruel.
That's rude.
There's something... well, actually, no, I think it's Andy Serkis as Caesar vibe. I don't know how to explain it. It's like something about the way that his lips are curling all the time, and it just has a very much Andy Serkis doing Caesar.
Yeah, okay. I can see where you're coming from.
I'm not saying that the orc looks like Andy Serkis. That would just be cruel.
Well, I mean, you did literally say that.
I did sort of say that, but that's not what I meant by it.
Okay. Oh, it's a fight! We're having a fight at last!
Oh, there's loads of CG shit running towards a whole bunch of non-CG shit.
Right. Okay.
Are they even
Normally when an army is charging towards something, you then get a shot of like what they're charging towards.
But then we get the wide shot of them like 2 miles away, just like in on Monty Python running towards the castle. They're just totally hyped up way too soon. They don't realise they've got like 2 hills to climb.
Mithrandir. So these guys are just having a chat.
Even the eyes are creepy. Like those contacts, they look like they're slightly wonky. Like they look like they're not looking in the same direction.
Well, maybe he's got an astigmatism. Or whatever. A squint. Or something.
I still can't believe that there's no way that shoes would benefit a hobbit.
They've got thick, leather-like soles. They're basically wearing shoes, but their feet are just shoes. Like, their toenails are really hard.
We've discussed this, but I refuse to believe that there's no situation where he wouldn't be better off wearing steel toe caps.
But his toes are like steel toe caps.
You reckon?
You know?
So you reckon if you just dropped a sword onto his toe, it wouldn't snap or cut off?
Yeah, I reckon he'd be alright. You maybe cut his toe off, but, you know, the nail would be fine.
Hence why... the nail would be fine, but the toe would be off.
Yeah.
It's the bit I like, it's the bit with the nail! You remember that in Friends years ago?
No.
Chandler drops a knife and chops the tip of one of his toes off.
What a goose.
And then they accidentally swap it with a bit of carrot and arrive at the hospital and they can't reattach it because they left it in the freezer.
Shockingly, I think I do remember that, actually. Yeah. God, that makes me unhappy.
Yeah. Oh, they're all staring
Oh,
at
it's the
ball.
MacGuffin. Let's stand around and have a chat about the MacGuffin. What? Why is he here?
Why? How is it yours to give? Yeah. You just nicked it.
Just give it to the dwarf man and let the elf have whatever the elf wants. It's just a shitty necklace and some diamonds. Or maybe it's like mithril, actually. That's quite valuable.
I think this is actually him forgiving them for being rude and horrible and stealing all his food. I was just reading what you're saying there. Like, I feel like actually...
Yeah.
I may need to give him a pass a little bit because he's forgiven them.
I think that was sort of implied.
I know, but I still hadn't. The aim out of house and home is not cool. But if he's fine with it, I can let it go.
I don't know if I'm okay with it because they've not apologised. Like, fair enough, he's forgiven them, but that forgiveness has not been sought, so it's kind of worthless, really.
Well, I completely agree then, actually. I think we'll just stick with the fact that the dwarves are dicks, they stole his food, and they owe him a bloody big apology.
Yeah.
And Gandalf owes him an apology or 6.
Everybody just needs to sit... Everyone involved in these movies just needs to sit in a big circle and just apologise to each other. Just go around
and you say,
one by one.
Peter,
like, I am very sorry for what I have done.
Starting with Peter Jackson.
Well, I mean, he did make a lot of bad choices, but he just kind of got swept up in the whole thing.
But didn't we establish
that
he's a bit of a douche as well?
Yeah, he is kind of, but he went into the whole thing with good intentions and just kind of got crushed by the machine.
I don't know, there's a lot of bad things that happened under the guise of going into it with good intentions.
Yeah, but I mean, he had actual good intentions. He wanted to keep the movies in New Zealand to help bolster the New Zealand film industry.
And then they fucked it.
Because if he wasn't on board, then Warner Brothers would have just taken it elsewhere because of all the union stuff that we talked about last time.
Heaven forbid you set it in the areas that inspired it, like Scotland and Ireland.
Well, I mean, that would be fine. I mean, Scotland is very Middle-earth-ish.
Well, it's what inspired it.
Yeah. I mean, you could set it somewhere in Scandinavia, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Nordic influence
nice
over it.
crinkly edges.
Yeah. My favourite bits was the fjords, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you missed with that shot. Go away!
No! We're here to kill you all! But we don't want to be killed. No, thank you.
Your father smells of elderberries.
We're all going to kill you now. Please don't.
Why are we here? Why are we fighting?
Hold.
What are we doing?
Put your arrows away, boys.
If somebody could just please explain why we're here.
Oh, yeah, so yeah.
You're not actually reading the dialogue, are you?
I sort of am. And, yeah, why did you bring it?
Yeah, just chuck it up to him.
Look what we got. Thieves, no. Fucking Bilbo's the thief.
Bilbo's the thief, but then you employed him to be a thief, so what do you expect?
Thievery.
Indeed. He's done his job, and he's done it very well. He stole that ring. He stole the big shiny stone.
Who knows about the ring so far?
Just Bilbo.
He's not even told Gandalf?
No.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if he does tell Gandalf at any point. I think maybe right at the end.
Gandalf figures it out, doesn't he?
Yeah, but in Fellowship he figures it out. Actually, yeah, no, he doesn't know.
It's no trick. I gave it to them. I'm a dick.
But we were lovers.
He's doing his Tim face. You can't film that.
He's always doing his Tim face. He's just Tim Face, the man.
He just did a perfect one there. Like,
Timmy Tim Face is what they call him.
Timmy Tim Face, the colonizer.
Oh, he's not a thief, he's a burglar.
That is a thief.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just not a robber, which was established.
Oh yeah, that's the difference, isn't it?
Robbery implies violence. I'm a burglar. I'm a cat burglar.
Yeah.
I sneak in and burgle.
Yeah. God,
Whereas actually, I think Bilbo would technically be categorised as a robber because he goes in and helps kill or try and kill a dragon. And he kills loads of... He's killed quite a lot of like spiders and other things while stealing shit. Drove Gollum insane by like assaulting him and nicking his ring, kicking him in the head. So Bilbo's actually...
Oh yeah, he did kick him in the head, didn't he?
So essentially, Bilbo is a violent criminal.
Thug. He's a
violent robber.
Menace.
He should be done for all sorts.
They should lock him up in Hobbit jail. Uh-oh, infighting.
Everybody's realised you're a loony. And they're not going to kill
Bilbo.
Bilbo.
Kill him! Kill him!
Yeah, do. Chuck him over. Why's the wizard with that?
Why is anybody anywhere? Like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what happens in the book?
No.
Like, the dragon escapes and burns down Lake Town and is killed. They stand around and have a little chat for a little bit, maybe sing a song. Then the Battle of Five Armies happens, and Bilbo gets knocked unconscious for all of it, and has it recapped to him after the fact. And
so
then
they
it's
didn't
the
even write
end.
about it. They just
they did the cliche thing of having your point of view character knocked unconscious for the big battle. But I mean, it gets recounted to him afterwards, so you don't see it live. But I understand why, because the whole of The Hobbit is told from Bilbo's point of view. Like, at no point does it ever do you ever see it from any other character's point of view. So it makes sense. Whereas in this, you are seeing so many points of view, it is dizzying.
It doesn't feel like Bilbo's story.
It really doesn't. They should have called it The Dwarves. The Dwarves of the Rings. They should have called it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I like it.
Uh-oh. Also, this annoys me.
The question is, who's the Lord of the Dwarves now?
I think technically Thorin is. I don't know. I think they're still trying to work that out.
Isn't he just about to be deposed?
I don't know. They've got bigger problems because the big army's coming now.
Who are these fucking robot-headed weirdos?
It's army number 2. So you've got the... That's the thing. I want to try and figure out what the 5 armies actually are. So you've got the elves, you've got whoever these fuckers are, some orcs or something.
You've got the dwarves.
A dwarf army does show up. So you've got the dwarves that are already there, and then you've got Billy Connolly's dwarves that show up in a bit.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen Bill yet.
Yeah, he shows up in like half an hour or something, I don't know.
Jesus, how long is this fucking movie?
Long.
Jesus, we're only halfway through.
I didn't think we were even halfway through. Oh wait, this is them. This is the dwarves. This is the dwarf. This is him. This is Billy Connolly.
Okay.
Are you ready to see live, actual, real Billy Connolly?
Is he CGI?
Ready yourself for this.
You're about to fuck me over and he's CGI.
Just look at him.
Oh, Jesus. He's CGI.
He looks like a fucking PS3 cutscene, you know?
Oh my God.
And you know the mad thing...
You told me Billy Connolly was in this.
Well, that's the thing. He actually is. He was actually physically on set and filmed.
But you told me that he was going to be on screen, and that is not Billy Connolly.
But it is. He's just been CG'd over for no reason.
So he isn't on screen. A CG model over the top of him.
Yeah, but the point is, he was actually physically present and was filmed.
Why fucking bother then?
Well, I know. I don't know. There was
just mocap him in a green room.
Apparently, they were made some excuse like they were worried that his like mannerisms and everything would get lost underneath all the dwarf prosthetics and everything. But
bullshit.
No, I think they were just trolling at that point, and we're just like, we've made everything else in this movie CG for no reason. We might as well just do this.
Yeah, I almost also don't like his meat tenderizer.
He just looks so different from everyone else.
Why is his weapon a meat tenderizer?
Because dwarves love big hammers. It's hammer time, they say. That's...
Okay. Stop.
Yeah, that's what they're like.
Stop! It's hammer time! Aye, and my axe!
Oh, hey, it's either June or Tremors. Is it June or Tremors?
They're a bit more Dune-y than the Tremors things. Like, these are just... What even are they? They are nothing...
Something that eats rocks.
They are nothing from, like, Tolkien lore or anything. They're just these giant subterranean worms that exist.
Come forth my armies. He's got multiple armies?
I guess. So we've seen 2 so far. 3 if you count the dwarves that are already in the mountain. This is all very impressive, isn't it? This is like watching...
So are they all fighting each other? Or are they all
Yeah, they're all fighting over the treasure in the mountain.
Oh, right. I mean...
It's a real gold rush.
But this is why I was questioning why they were still hanging around when they found all the gold. Just take it all and go. Or
where are they going to put it? In their pockets? That's $62 billion worth of gold, remember?
That's more than that.
At least 62 billion.
Oh god, when do we get some live action stuff?
Just sort of sprinkled in about it, you know.
After the battle. I mean, it's technically impressive. But
and this all looks
the animation
fine.
feels like Shrek animation though. It's not quite fluidic enough.
Mm.
So like
Wee.
That looked alright, but are they mocapped?
I don't know. That's
as well.
Probably all just CG, but you know, that's the classic elf maneuver from the prelude to the Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, that bit.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh.
That was effective.
Yeah, that's a pretty good tactics there.
Broke your ranks and somehow someone sliced you through your armour.
Yeah, well, they've got impressive swords, you know.
Magic swords. Oh, his meat tenderizer works there.
Well, yeah, he's swinging it at things that are made of meat, you know.
What the fuck? Are these like semaphore flags?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're going to call in a big airship at some point. God, I wish that happened. That would be so good.
Lee Scoresby pops up on his Zeppelin.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, it's Northern Lights reference again.
Stomp, 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 stomp. So that'll be army.
The wizard. The Wizard of Oz. What's that from?
It's from Wizard of Oz.
Is that Wizard of Oz, that one?
Yeah, that's the guards outside the witch's
okay.
castle. I love that bit. They're like,
Is that a catapult? You want a trebuchet? You're going to get fucked.
Only Gondor has trebuchets.
Well, that's because they're the superior siege weapon.
And they use them for defence, mostly, actually.
I mean,
in Return of the King.
They're a great weapon.
Very useful.
You
can't really strap one to the back of a troll, though. That's the only thing.
I mean, you probably can't.
But you could like pack it up and put it on its back, but then you'd have to unpack it and build it and everything. Whereas these have just got big rock chucking things on their back. That's pretty cool. I like that. Good work, guys.
I mean, they're just.
Whoa! Look at this guy. Whoa! That's using your head. He's killed himself.
He just knocked himself out.
Oh, that's brilliant.
There's no way that animal would have been able to hit through that wall. Look how thick
had a big thing on its head.
No, but look how thick that wall is.
Yeah, but it had a big thing on its head.
It's thicker than the thing on its head. Its head would have pureed before the wall would have broken.
You're underestimating the toughness of a troll, you know?
God, they must be dense, actually, to just crumple a wall like
They
that.
are pretty dense. I mean, they can't do their multiplication tables, you know?
But they don't seem to be, like, sinking inches into the ground with every footstep, which is what that kind of density would imply.
Well...
I'm really bothered by the physics of this film.
Take it... Well, you ain't seen fucking nothing yet, buddy.
It's very unrealistic. It doesn't fit with real well.
Is it really?
I don't believe it at all, no. I get the feeling that whoever wrote this doesn't really have a huge grasp of physics.
I don't think they really had time to think about it, because they were literally going on set to film an action scene without having any of the action beats like planned out or anything. Peter Jackson was just like, okay, this is where we start, this is where we end, I guess. Just do stuff in between.
This sounds like a foolish way of making a movie.
Well, yeah. They literally described it as like laying the track before the train as it was moving. And that's why you've got all these pictures of Peter Jackson sitting around in these enormous green screen sets, just looking just tired and dishevelled and just hating life. Like this guy, he's hating life. I'm just gonna hide. I don't want to get involved in the battle. Well, you wouldn't, to be fair.
No, you wouldn't.
So I guess the townsfolk count as an army as well.
Okay.
So you've got the dwarves, you've got the elves, you've got the townsfolk, you've got one orc army.
But he said armies, because you got trolls as well, so you got trolls and orcs.
Do the trolls count as a separate thing? Maybe they do. Maybe the
Are we going to get... Is Sauron's army not going to pop up? Has he got an army?
Well, they're technically all the orcs are technically kind of Sauron's army. I guess the giant worms could be one of them. One of the armies.
Maybe. Oh, Jesus.
This is a very bad idea.
There's no way that would either be intact or still be going straight.
He would have killed those children. He would have shouted out to them, and they would have turned around and been like, "What?"
Jesus.
And they would have just been beheaded.
I know this is a... I don't know, that whole sequence is just ridiculous.
Yep.
And did he clean his sword? It doesn't look like it's dripping in troll blood.
Well, of course he cleaned his sword. He's not a fool. He's a professional. Took down that dragon earlier. That was great. I don't think he's even had a nap since then.
Yeah, probably not. It's Squidgy McPoyle, everybody.
Oh, he's kidnapping children.
Why is he?
Or is he trying to save them? Don't give him a sword, Jesus! I've never known somebody to look more like he'll stab you in the back than that guy. He's a real backstabby kind of guy.
Yeah, what's his name? Moisty Mc... something?
Alfred Lickspittle.
Lickspittle. I knew it was moist.
He's not moist, he's greasy.
He is terribly greasy.
He is oily.
Oily McPoily.
Get my way! Get my way! He actually sounds like that as well.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day we can watch some of these with audio and a headphone or something. Because part of me wants to be able to follow it.
You really want to
better.
watch these again?
No.
In more detail?
Not these movies. I'm saying if we do any other movies, it would be nice to possibly hear some of it. Because I think the subtitles don't quite do it justice.
Yeah, well, the thing is...
I can't comment on the sound design. Like, things like Mario.
Well,
I
that's
really
the
wish
thing.
we
Like,
could listen to that.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I think it's safe to assume for the Super Mario Brothers movie that the sound design, the old one, the 93 one, not the new one, which is apparently fine. But yeah, I think for the 93 one, I think it's safe to assume the sound design was not anything special.
Oh, really?
Whereas in this, it'll be fine. Because it'll just take all the sounds from The Lord of the Rings and, oh no, they stuck the big pig!
Fun fact on the sound design of that movie, though. Did you know that when Daisy's using the computer, it makes a 1-up sound?
I did.
Yeah?
I did know that. Yeah. Did you know that the de-evolution gun was the Super Scope?
It wasn't, was it?
It was.
That's crazy.
There's probably a power glove in that movie at some point as well.
Probably, yeah.
Interesting that we're talking about literally every other movie than this movie. That helmet has cat ears. There's helmets that have got cat ears. That's very funny.
No, they're bat ears. It's Batman.
No, they're cat ears. They're definitely cat ears.
That's very rubbery metal armour.
Yeah.
I don't think that's real armour. I
think some of that is. But I think it's probably leftovers from The Lord of the Rings.
I did see the thing. Adam Savage met one of the armourers for those movies. Talking about how they can make it look like steel, but with really thin aluminium and stuff, and make really good things. So for a lot of the hero armour is actually like real hammered metal. It's crazy. Like he's like proper armour.
Well, they spent like 3 years.
Yeah. Whereas I bet for this they just took rubber casts of all of them and just made plastic replicas or something. You know.
Probably.
We need to do Legolas again, but we have a mould of his face. It's fine.
Yeah, just stick it on him.
Or they were just covered in like green cardboard or something, and it was just
just superimposed the face.
Yeah.
Aye, we're dwarves and we're having a chat. I don't think you should be evil. Well, I disagree. I think I should be more evil.
Oh,
well...
I don't like that idea.
Well, who asked you? I'm Richard Armitage.
He's looking a bit tired, actually. There's old Richard.
I don't think he looks tired.
Yeah.
You trying to do a...
No, I wasn't doing that.
Oh. Don't speak to me.
God, do something. Have a little fight or something. Do something interesting.
Yeah.
God,
are we not technically still in the middle of a battle and it's still boring?
Yes. Like even the battle isn't even that interesting. It's just a bunch of CGI nobodies flapping into each other.
God, he's too pissed to swing his sword.
He's drunk on gold. He's going to turn into gold any minute.
I bet he is the kind of person who would grind up little bits of gold in his booze to get himself pissed quicker. Apparently it creates little micro tears and absorbs into your blood.
Yeah, it's like Groschlager or something does that.
Yeah.
It seems like a bad idea to me.
I mean, it's benign. I think it's largely benign, but it doesn't. It seems like a rather expensive.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of having micro lacerations in my throat, honestly.
No. And now where are
that's the big
a dark basilica cistern thingy.
There's that's the like river of gold that they made in the last one. It's set like jelly. Well, he was floating on it like it was jelly the last time.
It has to be said, it's far too polished. It would have quite a rough top surface. It wouldn't be shiny.
Bilbo sanded it down with his feet.
Oh, is it over yet?
No, very far from it.
Where? I just glanced at the laptop and realised how much dead space there is on dead.
That's fine. I don't care.
Just us sitting silently, not wanting to watch this.
Well, tell some more poo jokes. Go on. This movie is a poo joke.
What I will say, though, is that you missed a trick at the beginning,
where
this is the Hobbit Part P. Or the Hobbshit Part P.
The Hobbshit Part P!
You didn't do it.
Oh, God.
I was expecting it. Oh, he's hallucinating, falling into a pool of gold. Oh, it's not as smooth on the surface as I thought. It has got the imperfections.
Yeah, you see, they've thought of everything.
I mean, you say that.
They have... Well, I think the problem is they did think of everything, and then we're like, let's put it all in the movies. You know?
Yeah.
Help, my brother!
What's going
I
on?
won't. I'm the real
Seriously,
Richard
what
Armitage.
is going on? I have no
He's having a
clue.
hallucination. He's having a waking dream about him being overcome by his love of gold. And now he's just like, oh, I'm over that.
What is with the whole Goldfinger thing then? Or gold
Because
member
it's
thing?
gold. Are you telling me if you walked into a big room that was full of gold, you wouldn't be like, right, I'm just going to live here with all this gold?
No.
And nobody's having any of this
Do
gold.
I look like Donald Trump?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I to be honest, gold is, of all the precious metals, is my least favourite. Obviously, it's valuable, and if I found a hole full of it, I'd definitely want to take some and convert it to real cash and spend it.
Would you rather have a hoard of platinum?
I would definitely rather have a hoard of platinum. Or gold pressed latinum, that'd be nice.
That's not a real thing.
No, it's not. It's not, no. I'll settle with the platinum.
Oh, who's this? Who's this? Oh, it's Thorin. He's coming back and being like, oh, I've had a little think about being mad, and I've decided I'm not going to be mad, I'm going to be a hero. Look, I'm walking in slow motion. That means I'm a hero now. Don't shout at me, I'm a
Why
hero.
are you walking in slow motion towards us?
Or maybe he's not a hero, maybe he's still mad.
Are they going to hug it out?
I hope so. Because they should, you know? It's not good to be...
They're either going to hug it out or make out. Look at that. He's got the quivering lip.
No, he's in love with Evangeline Lilly, remember?
Yeah?
I think that's the one that's in love with Evangeline Lilly. Oh, he's smiling. Everything's fine.
He didn't make a comment about there being nothing in his pants, that's why.
Oh, damn.
Little head bumps. Little Eskimo kissy thing. Is that what they call it? Is it Inuits?
Yeah. Inuits, if you please.
Inuit's another word for Eskimo.
Eskimo is actually a slur, I'll have you know.
Is it actually? Or is it?
It is actually.
I always thought it was that all Eskimo are Inuit, but not all Inuit are Eskimo.
No, Eskimo was just...
Is it like an imposed name upon them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Apologies to any Inuit listening. Quite why anybody would want to be listening to us talk about this film is actually beyond me.
I don't know. I don't know why anybody listens to any of these commentaries, honestly. It's very strange to me, but hey.
If people enjoy it,
look out! It's
they
more.
Can enjoy our suffering.
There's more war happening. Ooh, he's got a big.
It's Alexei in the rhino suit.
He's got a big horn.
It's
I bet that was going. They love a big horn in these movies.
I thought you were talking about farts.
Yeah, that too. Whoa!
Bell tolling. Is that a bell tolling if it crashes through a wall?
Dong.
I feel like bell ringing would be appropriate, but it's not really the point the bell tolls.
Well, do not ask for whom the bell tolls, for it tolls for these fucking idiots.
This CG monstrosity of Billy Connolly. Oh my god.
See, if they insist on running in slow motion like that, they're never going
in a
to win.
triangle, that's not good. You're just going to die immediately. You're going to get swarmed.
No, they need a wedge to split the thing. Have you never done a battle before? Have you never played an RTS? Have you never played a Total War?
No.
Okay. Well, you wouldn't know then, would you?
I have actually not really played real-time strategy games. I'm not a fan.
Have you never played a Warhammer?
No.
I have. I've played lots of it. I'm very bad at it.
I feel like I'd rather play the tabletop version.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh right, no, I've never played that. Have you got a load of
I've
kit?
got a load of
Can we
stuff.
play some Warhammer?
No, I don't want to. We could play some 40k maybe.
I don't know what that means.
It's the Warhammer that's set in the future.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds fun. I mean, isn't that still Warhammer?
Yeah, it's...
Or is that like a dirty thing to say to somebody like... It's not
no, it's essentially the same thing, just in a sci-fi setting rather than a fantasy setting.
Definitely.
But it's science fantasy because there's still magic and stuff going on.
Oh dear, maybe not.
But it's, it's Just like the
Oh my
Force, you
God.
know? Yay, look, he's disguised himself as a woman. That's not problematic at all.
Not every man's brave enough to wear a corset.
Fuck off. Fuck off, Lickspittle. Just fuck the fuck off. Gold!
I find it very hard to believe that much gold would have been contained in that and kept up on a height like that.
I don't think it's gold, I think it's just coinage. Of the standard type, you know?
Oh.
Look at him go! Hey, I'm Billy Connolly!
I'm going to break your head off now.
This is what I do to hecklers.
Do you like my beard? I've dyed it special for the movie. It's ginger now. Do you like it?
It is pretty impressive
And
hair.
I've made it into horns. Go with horns in my beard, look.
The semaphore signal changed.
Oh no.
That means something. Look at that goat. What a cool goat. Look at them. They're pretty cool.
I mean, I don't think they're real.
No, I don't think that's real. I don't think any of this is real.
Jesus, those people behind would have had a horrible death. Jesus.
Well, they were orcs, probably, so, you know.
I mean, they were, siding with the trolls, so fuck them. But still wouldn't have been a nice way to go to have a troll land on you.
I feel kind of bad for trolls, really. Because are they, like, inherently evil? Or are they just
Is
animals?
anything. You keep saying that things are inherently evil in this, and I don't think anything is, so.
Well, no, there are very... Like, Gandalf is good, and Sauron is evil. And this guy is evil. There's not really that much in the way of shades of grey in this. Apart from when Thorin goes a little bit mad for a little bit, and then decides not to.
Even the evil people, are they evil all the time? Do they never have like a tender moment with their partner where they're like, oh, I've had a really rough day of eviling it today. Can we just have a cuddle?
You don't really... I suppose that could happen. I don't really see orcs doing that.
I bet the orcs have a lovely home life, and they like to sit and play little sword making games with their children, and like teach them how to.
There are no
teeth.
orc children.
How do orcs exist? They come out of the ground.
Yeah, they get like fashioned out of mud.
Okay.
Kinda.
Well, I'm sure whoever does the fashioning is very fond of them.
Sauron.
Oh, okay.
He's not particularly fond of them because
I didn't realise they were all like mud-based golems. In that case, maybe they're not evil incarnate. I don't know.
They're not. It's not really like that. You kind of see the Uruk-hai getting created like that in Two Towers, but I don't really know if that's exactly the same for all orcs. I know from the Battle for Middle-earth game, which is a really good game, by the way. Mm-hmm. When you play the Mordor orcs, you do get an orc pit, which is basically just a muddy hole, and there's an orc standing there kind of stirring it around.
What?
And then your little orcs plop out. It's a good game. I like it. Oh,
more
no.
staring into the camera.
Just get on with it, you know. Have the fight. You're obviously gearing up to a fight. I like his jacket.
Which one? Him?
Thorin. Yeah, he's got a nice tunic.
It's a bit Anakin Skywalker.
Well, he is a bit Anakin Skywalker in this. Well, not so much anymore. There was like 15 minutes where he was like, am I going to turn evil?
Has he got 2 robot arms and a laser sword?
Yes. And legs.
Does he? Well, not yet. Anakin doesn't...
Well, he's got all his limbs chopped off.
But was he not Darth Vader by that point?
Well, yeah,
because he was, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Anakin never lost his legs. Darth Vader did, but Anakin lost both his arms.
It's all very from a certain point of view, isn't it?
From a certain point of view.
Oh, are you sad? Are you sad that your elves died, mate? Are you sad that you've led your fucking elves to death in a pointless fucking battle? You dumb shit. Yeah, I'm talking to you through Andil, or whatever your fucking name is.
Malfoy.
Gandalf, fireball that motherfucker. I know you can do it. I've seen you do it. In a video game, but still.
In this, we've seen him light bombs with it, light fuses. didn't he?
Yeah, he made little pinecone grenades.
Yeah.
That was quite fun. God, remember that first movie and how it was actually quite fun? Some of it?
No.
I mean, it looked like shit, but there was the big...
I actually don't remember it. I feel
well,
like
there was the big underground fight with the goblins underground and the Goblin King that was Barry Humphries.
Awful sequence where it's like...
Yeah, it looked like shit, but it was stuff happening.
Oh, hello, possums, we're going to kill you now!
Would you rather watch a movie where it looks like shit, but stuff is happening, or this, where it looks fine, but really nothing much is happening? I mean, I say that literally as something is happening, but, you know...
He's pretty lucky not to trip and get decapitated and all that.
Yeah, well, he's wily, isn't he?
He's got a spidey sense.
Oh, God, they're stopping to have another chat. Jeez Louise. I thought this was supposed to be the Battle of Five Armies, not the Prattle of Five Armies.
But they need to have one corner of the love triangle destroyed.
I thought this was the Battle of Five Armies, not the Prattle of Five Armies.
That's very good.
It was very good.
That's very good, yeah. No, what I'm saying is... I've forgotten what I was saying.
Good. Yes! I win!
You won that round.
Oh, they're unhappy. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Don't do that.
She's got pretty poor reflexes. I'm not seeing that telegraphed.
Yeah. What's going on here?
The love triangle is about to be shattered.
I think, yeah, he's like, you can't be in love with a dwarf, because that makes no sense.
Oh, but now suddenly he's less racist.
He just teleported in there. Where the fuck was he? And he just appears at his side. That is so creepy.
But doesn't that happen a lot, that he's so soft-footed that he just appears places and people don't hear him come up?
But it was just the way it was edited together. Like, you don't see him walking up at all. He's not there. You cut away, you cut back, and he's there. It's just like... Oh no, my coins! Oh no, wait, it doesn't sound like that. He's like, oh no, my coins! I've got to put coins in me gusset.
Is
that what a gusset is? I don't know.
That's more of a... in his bust, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's funny, isn't it? It's funny, this man dressing up as a woman. That's a funny joke.
That look was good that they gave him.
Now, this Lickspittle fellow, he's been doing a lot of just kind of selfish, self-centered things. So normally in a story, when you've got a character like that, at some point they will get a comeuppance, or they will have a redemption.
And does neither of those things happen? Ben?
Well, what do you think?
I think he'll just not appear again now.
Do you think that's the last we've seen him?
Maybe, or we'll see.
I think he shows up one.
Or we'll see him just like out. We'll see him like completely like an hour later, and the fight's over, and he's just accidentally been stopped.
Bilbo literally teleported in. Did you see that? He literally teleported in.
He took a ring off.
I know. But it looked like he teleported.
He removed the ring from his finger.
He did. But it looked like he teleported.
Yeah.
We were joking about teleporting. I'm trying to...
I know, I'm
trying to thread things together here.
I'm really still struggling to engage with even our own chat.
It's nearly over. It's nearly over. Relatively speaking, it's nearly over.
At least another half hour to go.
Compared to the fucking age of the universe, it's fairly brief.
Yes. Compared to the impending heat death of the universe.
Oh, do you want to do some IMDb trivia bits?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to stretch this out for half a fucking hour. Anyway, trivia bit number 1. This is the last movie featuring legendary screen actor Sir Christopher Lee (brackets Saruman the White) to be completed and released before his death on June 7th, 2015, at 93. Lee was one of a handful of cast members to star in both The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies. Is that interesting or not interesting? I think we mentioned this earlier. Possibly.
Interesting.
It is quite interesting, isn't it? Ding.
It's moderately interesting.
What a movie to go out on.
Yeah, what a fucking sad end to a career.
But I mean, to be fair, he had been in quite a lot of garbage over the years. Like, he's obviously a very, very good actor, but he had a lot. He was in a lot of schlock.
He had a bad agent.
You know? I don't think it was even that. I think he just liked having fun in silly, campy movies. You know,
he was good.
He was very much all about being entertaining.
He was good replacing Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars.
Oh right, okay, yeah, okay. That took me a minute.
I stand by the fact that he's a replacement for Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, you're a big adherent to the whole Jar Jar Binks as a Sith Lord thing, aren't you?
Yes.
Even though... Oh, God, let's not talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Even though what? Just say the one thing.
Even though it just doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
It only makes sense up until the end of the first movie. At the start of the second movie, after Jar Jar was hated, it was rewritten, and it obviously didn't go that
He was
way.
always intended to just be a silly comic relief thing.
He wasn't.
And then everybody hated him, and then Lucas was like, okay, well, I'll just shit all over him.
He was intended to be a parallel to Yoda, in that Yoda was the funny wee animal that turned out to be a Jedi Master, and he's the funny wee animal that turned out to be the big bad.
I mean, I don't doubt that was maybe a plan at some point, but I don't think that idea came anywhere near the finished product, really.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's a whole different prequel trilogy. What are you talking about?
Well, let's chat about them next instead.
Good thing about Christopher Lee, killed a lot of Nazis.
That's usually a good thing.
Yeah.
But it also does technically make him a murderer.
Yeah, but it's Nazis, so, you know.
Yeah, but it's murder.
Yeah, but it's
hate
Nazis.
as much as yeah, we all want to kill Nazis, but killing people is still wrong. So where do we sit on that?
Well, they're Nazis, so if you leave them to their own devices, eventually they're going to try and kill you.
Oh, okay, so then you kill them first. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's... yeah.
Problem solved. We can all kill Nazis.
That's the thing about fascism.
Yay!
It just wants to destroy everything, ultimately. It's a cult of death. But anyway.
Yes.
Christopher Lee killed a lot of Nazis. And that's cool!
It's interesting.
It's cool. I'm saying it's cool.
I still don't think killing is cool.
Generally speaking, no. But it's Nazis, so, you know.
But then it's more of a job then, really, isn't it? It's
People just don't do the job.
Yeah.
If somebody comes up to you and says, hey, do you want a job as a Nazi? I'll just go, No, I would rather not have a job as a Nazi, thanks.
I mean, killing Nazis is the job.
Oh, right, well...
That's something you're like, well, at this point, like... Yes, I'm a murderer.
I mean, he was
I'm just killing Nazis today. This is my job.
He was into like proper like espionage, spy stuff.
That's
so you
cool.
know, he wasn't just. I don't think he was just doing it because it was his job.
He wasn't
it was his job.
stabbing people in the back all day.
Yeah, well, he
Just
was.
the once.
He was an expert in stabbing people in the back as well, apparently.
This is a very intense discussion.
Hey, yeah. Well, again, I mention things and then immediately. Oh, is this the bit? Oh, it's one of the bits where Legolas
just going to walk up floaty things.
See, that's quite fun. That hitching a ride on a bat and then murdering the bat.
It's a big bat. What's the oxygen content of the atmosphere in this?
At least one.
At least one what? One oxygen.
Yeah. Everybody just gets a shot with it.
I'm just questioning why we don't have giant insects if we have such big...
Well, you saw those massive worm things earlier.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
And there's the giant spiders everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, true. I'm expecting more, though. I'm expecting more, like, just...
Well, there was probably more back in the day.
Big bugs cutting
before all the cataclysm stuff in, like, the second age?
I suppose it doesn't really seem the weather for dragonflies,
First age?
does it?
I can't remember.
That looked quite painful. Who's gonna fight the big orc and pull his metal bit out of his arm? And...
Thorin, that's Thorin's boss fight.
Oh, is he gonna do that though?
Yeah, see, here we go.
Oh,
he's not. This is the arena battle before the boss shows up.
Is he the Oak Shield man?
Thorin Oakenshield, yeah.
Okay.
Thorin Oakshieldman. Right, trivia bit number 2.
Yeah.
Billy Boyd, who played Pippin
Yep.
in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, co-wrote and performed the song The Last Goodbye for the end credits of this movie.
Not interesting.
Is that interesting or not interesting?
Not interesting.
It is interesting, actually. Ding! He does a good wee sing-song, that guy.
Well, it's a shame we're not going to hear it.
We could crank it up.
I have
for the
no desire
credits.
to hear it. Are we even going to be here when the credits are rolling? We're not just going to like, okay, that's it. That's
It depends. We might find something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a whole lot of boss fights happening here, isn't it? Oh no! No!
My potentially Nello friend.
No, not the dwarf. Not the handsome dwarf. Why couldn't it have been one of the ugly ones that died? Don't, get up and help him or anything. Jesus.
But my love triangle! I was relying on having one side of the love triangle intact!
She yawned! She literally yawned!
But the subtitle said cries.
It looked like she was yawning. That was hilarious.
Still a terrible way.
What emotion are you going for here, Evangeline? What? I'm not criticising. I mean, this is just... I'm quite well aware that you probably don't have any idea what you're looking at in this scene.
Has he actually got bits of metal embedded in his chest for armour?
Yeah, and he's got metal in his face, in his chest. I think he's just made of lots of metal.
Oh, did she just kill herself?
Or
sacrifice herself?
She did a thing. No, because she can tumble down a mountain and be fine. Mostly. Go on. Oh, he's run out of arrows.
You've not been counting your shots, mate. If you've not been doing this for hundreds of years, you should have fucking counted your shots. Learned to do that by now.
Well, he's been in a big fight. He's going to run out eventually, isn't he?
Just pull one out of a nearby corpse.
Oh, is this the bit?
How did he know that was even there?
Because he's got elf awareness.
Oh my god, the poor prosthetic orc.
Yeah, that's
monster
quite
man.
a shame. I like how he's just able to take control of it by jamming a sword into his brain, you know?
I mean, you can do that with cockroaches and electrodes, but I think you'd need to be a bit more accurate.
Yeah.
There's so many things that just wedge themselves between gaps in this.
Yeah, everything's very conveniently proportioned, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
God,
Here we go.
It's going to be like an Iron Man fight where we just occasionally get close-ups of his face hovering in front of a CG background, isn't it?
No, it's mostly... the fights are actually pretty well choreographed. It's just the CGI horribleness. And...
How you going to get out of this one then, sport?
Well, you'll see. You'll see exactly how he gets out of this one.
He's going to jump on falling bits of masonry, isn't he?
Maybe.
It's going to be ridiculous, isn't it?
Maybe. Well, I mean, that's a given, you know. Whoa!
Yeah, I don't...
Everybody's coming real close to the edge of things. It's stressing me out, man. Oof! Oh
Jesus.
no, you fucked it. Even more than it was already fucked.
Gotta say, the construction on this brickwork is pretty poor for that. And now that's fallen in, but not collapsed the whole other side. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
That
it's to be fair, it's a fairly old structure, so it makes sense that it's a bit crumbly.
And to be fair,
but
it's just
it
fallen
should
on
be
its side.
completely crumbly, to be honest. At this point, I don't think it would have much integrity left.
Much like Peter Jackson.
I don't think that's fair. I think he maintains a bit of integrity. He's stopped making movies after this. These movies are totally fucking broke him.
Oh, he did that World War One in colour thing. That was good.
Yeah, but he's never done a feature film since then, and I don't think he plans to. Because
oh, here we go.
Why would you after all of this shit? You know.
Right, go and deal with Septic Elbow.
Da da da, bum bum bum. Music's probably doing that. Inappropriate.
That's what I want to hear right now.
Yeah.
Go on, pick up your giant Q-tip.
Gladiators! So this is quite... See, the fights are quite good. This is quite a good fight. He's got a big swingy brick
I
thing.
don't know. I feel like he's... pretty susceptible while swinging that really slowly.
And you can see it's all quite well lit.
Oh.
So you can see everything that's going on, even though
Here we go.
Here it is. Yes, man! Look at him go!
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Does he weigh like 3 grams?
Yeah, he's fleet of foot
but
and nimble.
Does he have no body
swift.
mass? If he has no body mass, how does he have any strength behind his punches?
He's got like hollow bones, but really powerful muscles. Oh.
You're going to control him? You didn't rip his arm thing out. You missed a trick.
And he's lost his sword now as well, I think. Oh well, plenty more with that.
Oh, I was going to say collect it, but it just got buried in a rock.
Yeah, it got buried in a skull. So yeah, one of the things that really annoys me is that this is all set during the day, and all of these orcs are just cutting about like it's nothing. Like they can go out in daylight. It's just that they're not particularly functional when they're out in daylight. I think
is it daylight or is it overcast? No, it is day. It's
broad daylight. Look at all that sunshine.
Is he intentionally just putting him on a floating platform of ice now?
I think he's just smacking him around for the fun of it. Yeah.
How is he not just falling through and cracking the ice with every step he takes, considering how massive and dense these things appear to be?
It's
they
thick
fucked
ice,
up the physics
you know?
again.
It's thick ice.
Oh no, I just realised that wasn't. He still has a chance to rip out Elbow Man.
Oh yeah. I can't remember if that happens. I don't think so.
I'm going to be very disappointed if it doesn't.
Oh, it's the Eagles!
Welcome to the Hotel California.
Radagast, you cheeky devil, you. So
are
the Eagles
an army?
The Eagles the Fifth Army? You know?
Oh, they're doing an Anakin.
Oh, it's Bear Man. It's Beor. Beorn?
Wait, what?
Beorn? He's that guy that can turn into a bear from the last one, remember?
Oh, the werebear.
He's not a werebear. Well, is he? No, I don't think he is, because I don't think
What the hell is going on? This is the shittiest way to defeat him. Just chuck his rock back at him, because suddenly he lost the ability to pick him up.
That's quite clever, I thought. You know, he's using the environment to his advantage.
It baffles me why he thought it would be a good idea to have a big weight tied to him over a frozen lake.
Well,
what did he think was going to happen when he cracked it?
Nobody's really that bright in these, are they?
Nope.
Trivia bit number 3.
Oh, God. Only on number 3. Carry on.
During the end credits, the picture of Bilbo Baggins is a slightly edited version of a picture taken of Martin Freeman holding a Lego minifigure of Bilbo. Is that interesting or not interesting?
I like Lego, that's interesting.
Correctamundo, it's interesting.
He's still alive! And he'll soon be appearing in Game of Thrones as the Weird Icy Man.
Oh, I sure hope nobody stabs up through the ice into somebody's foot. That would be a real bad thing to happen. And totally not foreseeable at all.
Was he totally about to do
that? He's alive! Oh no, my foot!
Very good aim.
Oh no!
I'd laugh if he just got it like an inch to the side and then couldn't get out again. Just like, oh shit!
And how did he jump out of the water there?
By pulling with the ice, and somehow he disconnected the chain from his other thing.
Oh!
Is his sword cutting his sword?
No, it's got a thing like a cleft thing in the top of it, like a forked tongue kind of situation. Maybe that's a metaphor for him being deceitful or whatever. Die, dwarf! I don't want to die. I'm Richard Armitage. Oh! Oh, he's done a self-sacrifice, I think. Is that what he's done? Or is he just given up? No. Oh, no. Oh, they're going for...
Somehow he's hardier, so he can survive that sword more than... Oh, nice. He's pinning him to the ice so he can't get him. Or not. I don't know what's going on.
Well, he got stabbed through the chest, but he's
somehow he's fine.
Still able to have enough strength to push this big guy over and stab them through the chest. That's it, Thorin. You just have a little lie down now,
Go and
mate.
get yourself a little health potion or something.
Your journey is at an end, soldier. Just have a little sleep.
Unfortunately, the movie's still not over, so you need to actually go meet your mates and have the awkward sort of final montage.
I don't think he's even going to make it that far.
No.
Oh, there's Bilbo. I forgot he was in these movies.
Oh yeah, he's been unconscious.
Imagine you wake up and you just see a bunch of eagles.
The eagles are
Actually, you
coming
would, in this universe, you'd be pretty happy with that, because eagles are the I win condition for the good guys.
Why didn't they just use them to fly the ring to Mordor?
Because Mordor probably has air defences. And also, then there would literally not be a story. And also, the Eagles were busy at that time up north, helping the dwarves.
Recording the latest album.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very screechy, this album.
Caca! Trivia bit number 4.
Yeah,
When Galadriel is in Dol Guldur, she wears Nenya,
None your business.
her ring of power, on the right hand.
What's the wrong hand?
Well, Nenya, also named the...
Airy one? Watery one?
Close enough. The white ring,
The white
the
ring.
ring of adamant, the ring of
The
water.
ring of adamant. The wet ring, yeah.
Yeah. Nenya is a word in Sindarin, which is an elf language, probably. That means water.
You're missing Armitage's death.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm so sorry I went evil for 15 minutes. I'm sorry I worried you, lad.
No, the issue is I want you to apologise for eating my fucking food. We've been over this. I've been trying to get you to apologise for fucking weeks.
Oh,
We've been through a lot.
Those sausages were really good, though. Oh.
Do you want me to just do a Tim face to camera? Would that make you happy?
Oh, if you could, just one last time, my laddo. Oh, you're a good lad.
Go back to your books and your armchair.
I'm sorry I tried to throw you off a thing. Go back home to your plants and your fucking empty pantry, you stupid bastard.
Anyway, what was point 4?
Nenya means water in
Not
Sindarin.
interesting.
It is interesting because it's lore, and I love lore.
God, next.
Straight on to the next one. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Don't let me hold you up. You got somewhere to be, do you?
I need to pee.
All right. Well, you could just go do that, you know.
I'm going to go do that then. No, wait. I'll wait.
Okay, trivia bit number 5. The only movie in the Middle-earth saga not to earn an Academy Award nomination for its visual effects. Is that interesting or not interesting?
It's obvious. It's not interesting.
Not interesting!
Of course it didn't. It's a piece of shit.
They took one look at Billy Connolly's Final Fantasy Spirits Within face and were just like, no thank you.
Spirits Within. Oh my god, we should watch that.
I would rather be watching that, to
Yeah,
be
I've got
honest.
that on DVD
and that's a
somewhere.
very fucking boring movie. But see, this is a nice little acting moment. Bilbo's all sad. This is a good acting moment. She's all sad. I mean, she's doing her best.
My love triangle is shattered.
Oh, this passionless relationship that didn't really exist. Oh. Here, have your shitty little stone back, you grubby little freak.
Harsh but fair.
I'm also in this movie. Remember me? I'm the elf man.
I'm the one with the biro on my face.
I am also an elf.
We look like brothers.
But they're actually father and son.
What?
Yeah, they are.
Oh. I've
But
not been following this.
Which
at
one's
all.
the father and which one's the son, eh? You know?
Well, I reckon the actors are probably the same age.
Roughly, yeah.
But I think tall Malfoy with the crown is the daddy.
That is an interesting sentence. You have put those words out there now.
I've
and
put them out there. Again, I'm trying to find whatever joy I can from this movie.
Indeed.
So let me just be vulgar and ridiculous.
You know what would probably bring you some joy?
What?
Trivia bit number 6. The Hobbit movie series by Sir Peter Jackson.
I thought Tolkien.
Well,
the movies, you said?
Yeah, the movie series. Actually takes longer to watch than reading the book it is based on. The complete runtime for all 3 Hobbit movies is almost 8 hours. Most readers could read The Hobbit, brackets 1937, by J.R.R. Tolkien, the book the movies are based on, in 6.5 hours.
Are you seriously telling me we could have done a 3-part book reading and it would have been less than this whole?
I'm not reading a fucking book. Are you mad?
Fair play.
Anyway, is that interesting or is that not interesting?
That is interesting.
It is interesting. Ding!
Terrifying.
Very interesting, isn't it?
You know what else is interesting? I am actually going to have to go do a wee break. So
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Let's hold the fort.
I mean, you're not missing anything.
No.
Evangeline Lilly's been very sad. Oh, this is the because it was real bit. Why does it hurt so much? See? There you go. Because it was real. I accept your relationship with this dwarf, now that the dwarf is dead. But please don't think about looking at any other dwarves, because I'm an elf and we are dwarf racists. Oh, now you kiss him. God's sake. A little bit late for that. Everybody's just a bit shell-shocked. And I don't think it's from the battle. I think it's just literally from these movies.
Oh my god, what did I miss?
You're just in time for what I think is actually the best scene in the movie.
Well, the end.
Pretty much the end, yeah. Yay! It's like after the battle, and Bilbo has just had Thorin die in his arms, and Gandalf and him just have a sit down, and there's no dialogue or anything. Like, this was the last scene that Ian McKellen was filming, so Peter Jackson was just like, forget all the dialogue, just have a little sit, and just chill out for a bit, guys. Just take 5, and we'll point a camera at you. I just think it's a nice little bit, because it's been a lot of noise and crap up to this point, and just have a nice little quiet moment between 2 characters. Like, you actually believe that they're friends.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't really get that at any other point during these movies.
Yeah, they could both do with a bit of a bath, eh?
Well, they've been through a lot. And you missed the bit where Evangeline Lilly was like Lee Pace found Evangeline Lilly mourning that dwarf, and he was like, "Oh, wow, you were actually in love. This was the real thing." He's like, "Why does it hurt so much?" He's like, "Because it was real." It's like, fuck off.
Could have said that a bit earlier and not forced a lot of the kerfuffle with the whole love triangle.
It's like he only accepts the relationship after it's literally impossible for it to continue. Yeah, it's a bit shit, really.
Looks like Bryan Cranston in the middle.
If you say so. Oh, it's another big horn. Speaking of horns, trivia bit number 7?
7.
Ugh. Sorry, it's just a lot of reading, this one. But it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
I am excited.
As of 2018, Orlando Bloom is the only major elf actor not to appear in a Marvel movie. So we've got Hugo Weaving as Elrond, who starred as the Red Skull, of course, in
yes, indeed.
Captain American, the first American.
Captain Avenger, the first American.
Yes, that's the one. We've got Liv Tyler, who plays Arwen in the Lord of the Rings movies, who also plays Betty Ross in The Incredible Hulk. And I think she's coming back, or rumoured to be coming back, for the new Captain America movie.
As Betty Ross?
As Betty Ross.
Shame her dad's dead.
Well, they've recast.
Have they?
Yeah, it's Harrison Ford now.
No.
Yes.
You're kidding.
I am not.
So he's just going to turn up stoned and be like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing these things.
Yeah,
People
don't do a Hulk.
wagging his finger and going, no, it's not right.
Get off my Quinjet. Who else have we got? We've got Lee Pace as Thranduil in this, who played Ronan the Accuser in Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain Marvel. We've got Evangeline Lilly, of course, who
Wasp.
Who was, in Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And Kate from Lost.
And also Kate from Lost. And Kate Blanchett, who's Galadriel, who's in Thor Ragnarok.
Who's she playing Thor Ragnarok? Is she the golden person? No, what am I thinking of? Who's... What?
You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you.
Thor Ragnarok.
The one and
only... shit! The main villain. Fucking hell! Yeah, she's really good in that.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Well,
no, I like her. She
does
hams it up suitably.
Yeah, she does the best she can with the material she's given.
The best actors and the best people in those films, I think, are the ones that just know it's a comic book movie and can just have fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. But the real question is, was that interesting or not interesting?
I mean, irrelevant.
Well, all of this is irrelevant.
Well,
Jesus.
Then interesting.
Not interesting. Though, to be fair, every single one of those, even the ones I hate, Ant-Man 2, for example, they're not really. It's fine. But I also hate it. They're all better movies than these.
I think he's just spotted that he kept a ring or some shit.
Oh, he's like, oh, did you keep a little souvenir? And he's like, nah, I didn't, mate. No magic rings or anything. You ain't got nothing to worry about, bruv.
Tim. That's a really sus face.
Tell you, he's got some swag on him, though.
Yeah. Has he got a whole bunch of gold? Is that all he's carrying?
Yeah.
Well,
he got a 14th share of the treasure.
But there was a whole haul full of gold.
Yeah, and he also did all the fucking work.
No, but how is that a 14th of that haul? Are you telling me Are you telling me there's like more than 10 billion in that box?
Yes, I guess.
I don't believe
Maybe
that
he's got some of the more valuable treasure. Look, I don't know how it works. I guess he just doesn't really care about it that much because
he's got enough to retire.
Yeah, and also he's got his magic ring, so whatever.
You know, he's just going to nick stuff.
Yeah, true. But here's a question: who would you cast Orlando Bloom as in the MCU?
I wouldn't. I'm not a casting director.
All right. Well, fair enough. I would cast him as Gambit just to fuck with everyone. Okay, trivia bit number 8. We're getting very close to the end of the movie and also these trivia bits. Trivia bit number 8. Throughout the duration of filming these movies... I'll start that again. Throughout the duration of filming 3 movies, Martin Freeman frequently joked around by giving 1 or 2 middle fingers towards cameras when behind-the-scenes footage was being shot.
Oh, the cheeky monkey.
Interesting or not interesting?
It's not interesting.
Correct, it's not interesting. No, that's the wrong noise. I'm getting my noises confused. But my brain is broken. But yeah, he's like 5 years old. But then also, I do remember that they did make him drink everybody's piss in the last one.
What?
Remember when they were in the barrel scene when everyone else was pissing in the water and he was dunked in it? That's very funny.
Oh, what a pity.
That is probably my favourite fact from all of these movies. As Martin Freeman had to drink 13 people's piss. Oh, that's hilarious. Right.
Have we one more?
2 more.
2 more.
You ready?
I was born ready.
Okay, trivia bit number 9. The extended cut is Peter Jackson's first R-rated movie since The Frighteners. Brackets 1996. Is that interesting or not interesting?
So, are people sending him shit?
Oh, no, his belongings were getting auctioned off because everybody thought he was gone forever.
Oh.
But he's come back and
How long was he gone for?
Oh, like a year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's gone for quite a long time.
His pantry's going to be pretty bare.
Anyways, was that fact interesting or not interesting?
No, it wasn't. I've forgotten it.
It is interesting. Ding!
Okay.
It's a much better movie, and I have also done a commentary for it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the fact was that it was the only R-rated movie. Not
It's the extended cut is Peter Jackson's first R-rated movie since The Fright
Who wants to watch the extended cut? How's that interesting? I've defeated your system now.
That's not the point. The point is it's interesting because it mentions The Frighteners and it gives me an excuse to plug a previous movie commentary that I did.
Who's the girl in the picture? Is that his mum or something?
It's one of his relations. I can't remember.
Fair enough.
But anyway, yes, you can find that Frighteners commentary on YouTube and SoundCloud.
Excellent.
If you just Google Nerdmotron,
Right.
That's Nerdmotron.
Nerdmotron.
That's the one.
I've got it. Like and subscribe.
Indeed. Right.
Final piece of trivia.
Trivia bit number 10. You're going to love this one. Right. Ian Holm has played Napoleon several times, a role he shares with Marlon Brando. Brando appeared... Yeah, right. Fucking asshole. Brando appeared in The Godfather, brackets 1972, which won Best Picture, as did The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, brackets 2003.
Or something? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's transformed back into Ian Holm, into his true form. And this is the start of the movie, the start of the Lord of the Rings movies. This is the bit at the start when Gandalf knocks on the door and he's all like, look at what's going on with his face? It looks so wrong.
That's just
But anyway, that's just the start of... Because they blend so seamlessly together, these in the Lord of the Rings movies.
Seamless.
Anyway, where was I? Both their characters had a prequel devoted to them, this trilogy and The Godfather Part 2, brackets 1974, in which they are played by a younger actor. Both actors' final film paired them with that actor. Brando and De Niro appeared together in The Score, brackets 2001, and even shared scenes together. This film featured both Ian Holm and Martin Freeman, though they don't share any scenes together. However, Holm had previously played Frodo... Wait, that's wrong. He didn't play Frodo.
Bilbo.
He played Bilbo. Holm previously played Frodo and shared many of his scenes as Bilbo with Elijah Wood. Is that interesting or not interesting?
I tuned out.
I found that very interesting. Ding. Someone went to a lot of effort to weave those connections there, and for absolutely nothing.
They did. Now, the credits are rolling. I just have one last thing to offer.
Okay.
And that's a final passage of spoken word poetry.
Okay, go ahead. Do
the
it.
Conclusion.
Make it so.
Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Well, he fought with the goblins, he battled a troll, he riddled with Gollum, a magic ring he stole. He was chased by wolves, lost in the forest, escaped in a barrel from the Elf King's halls. Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Now he's back in his hole in the land of Shire, that brave little hobbit whom we all admire, just sitting on a treasure of silver and gold, a puffin on his pipe in his hobbit hole. Bilbo Baggins, he's only 3 feet tall.
Beautiful. Really beautiful.
I'm really glad you enjoyed that.
I did, yeah, it was great. It's really brought some sort of emotion.
Yes. Which, logically speaking, doesn't make much sense.
Not really, no.
But
I see what you did there. Yeah, very good,
yeah.
very good, very good.
So in conclusion, those films were shit.
Yeah, those were very shit. Thank you, everybody, for having endured these with us, if you have indeed done so. If you haven't, I do not blame you.
And if you have, you can only blame yourself.
Indeed. I didn't make you. None of us made you do it. You've done this to yourself. You've only yourself to blame.
The question now is, do we want to tease our next exciting televisual feast?
That's the thing, because season 2 of these commentaries has wrapped up, and we'll be starting season 3 very soon.
It is over.
And you'll be taking the lead on making the choices with the movies for this one.
Which is, I feel quite the obligation to get things good, but we shall be beginning with Lost in Space.
Yes, we're finally doing it. You people denied me doing it for so long.
And I have overridden the people.
Fuck your democracy.
There is no democracy anymore.
We are the commentary oligarchs.
Yes. And on that
note, see you next time.
Goodbye.